And I don't care if you are a professional MMA fighter, if you are a beginner self-defense person who's never taken a class before, if you run your class in this way and structured in this way, each person is on their own journey. So each person's going to get out of it at their level. If you are a beginner, you're drinking from a fire hose of knowledge. If you're advanced, you're going to learn the speed and which to do this with, and you're going to be very effective with it very quickly. So each person's going to get out of it what they get out of it, and it will be better than where they start, significantly. Class structure. Obviously, there's some warm-ups, but why do jumping jacks when you're not going to be doing jumping jacks in a self-defense situation? Your warm-up should mimic what it is that you're doing. So you could start off with shadow boxing. I have a specific method for that I might get to in a different video as well, called setup shadow boxing, and I'd love to share that with you. It's a very cool method, but I'm going to give you the overarching principle of the class to begin with. So you do your warm-ups. You hit pads. Why? Because the basic skills that you need for MMA are basic boxing skills, hitting and kicking pads. It's a fun way to do it. Or group games. It builds camaraderie, it's fun, everyone kind of laughs and gets people loosened up a little bit. Then comes your self-defense set. Now, of course, there's 2 or 3 of those different drills that add on top of each other. So if you're doing a boxing drill or a Panatukan or a dirty boxing drill or a Lithway drill, or a Sambo drill, that you're getting those basics, those ABCs of MMA involved. Now let's move on. Let's say we do your self-defense sets, also known as your SDS. So let's say we're learning how to escape a standing RNC choke or a bar arm choke, one where it comes across here, or the full RNC. Let's just say that that's the technique of the day. Well, you need to drill it, and you drill it in steps. Everyone does it in front of the mirror. The coach will demonstrate it, being myself. We demonstrate it and we explain why it's important to do what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. We do it really fast. The fast is kind of a wow factor. It's fun. Everybody likes to watch the coach do it fast. All right. And then you go slow. You explain what it is that you're doing. Okay, this makes sense. Then you get everybody in front of the mirror to where you can watch everybody, and you say this is step 1. Step 2, step 3, and you work it. There's no missteps, just like you would in the military. Now you do step 1 and step 2, one after the other. Bam, bam, pause. Then you do step 1, step 2, step 3. Bam, bam, bam. Cool. Then maybe, and there's a couple ways you can do this, maybe one of the partners isn't looking. But as soon as they tactically feel it applied, eyes open, they do what they need to do. They respond properly. Okay, now they're starting to build a skill set. Neat, that's nice, but how do we take this a step further to build it into a proper response and a proper, instead of a reaction, it's a proper response. Here's how you do that. The very last drill of the evening, on most evenings, is called Shark Tank. And what that is one, you can break, depending upon the size of your class, you can either break them off into groups of 5, 6 people, or you can have one large group. It's kind of fun as well. One person is in the middle. The rest are the sharks. So let's say you worked on a jab cross hook. Let's just have some fun. Let's just say it's super simple. It's a jab cross hook for the day. Not even getting into tips or anything fancy. Let's just say that's the case. Jab cross hook. One person may have mitts, and they're going to flash the mitts in a jab cross hook pattern where the person in the middle hits that pattern. Let's say maybe you worked on a front push kick that day, a teep kick, if you will. One person will hold a kick shield and you blast them. What it is controlled chaos, because everyone's moving around you and you're having to deal with multiple opponents. Your reticular activation system, your RAS system in your brain is having to go, what is the immediate threat? What is the danger? And you must react and respond. Here's where the magic happens. The technique of the day at some point will be applied. That means they're going to come up from behind you, or depending, is it a headlock? Is it a front guillotine? Is it what's the technique that you're trying to defend against? Fair. And during that pressure of the drill, which is still under fun, right? It's a technical manufactured pressure, right? But under that duress, are you going to be able to launch into your technique and perform properly? It's a fun class. It's a great structure to the class. You're getting real technical proficiency as best as you can without actually having your life threatened. You can do it with gun, stick, knife, multiple opponent, and each technique is based off of real police reports, off of ways that humans will attack other humans. Under criteria, does it work for the most amount of people, against the most amount of people? Meaning, if you're a little person, does it work against someone 50 pounds your size? Okay, it should. Given enough time. Does it work when your dog ass tired? Some techniques are super cool, but it only works when you have a lot of energy. Does it work if you have a 50-pound rucksack on? Does it work in a close quarter environment? If you're going room to room, if you're in a small environment, does it work? Does it require you to have big, Bagua style motions? Does it work in a phone booth? Again, these are filters that have already been selected, that have been carefully selected. And they answer the question, what if? If this, the response is this. If this, then this. And you can continue to add chains as you go, because let's be honest, in jiu-jitsu, you need to have more than one way to get out of the mount. If someone's mounted on you, you need more than one way to escape. All right? If someone's got you in side control, you better have more than one way to get out of bottom side control. Same thing with a headlock. If someone's wrenching down on your head, of course you learn one. It works pretty damn well. You need to learn, okay, now the next level you're going to learn two, and you can chain them together. If one doesn't work, you rip to the next. Right? And it gets meaner, dirtier, and nastier every time. The first level, you're not ripping out eyes, and of course you're mimicking this. Of course, you're not actually grabbing someone's trachea. But this is how you teach self-defense. This is the hammer fist. This is the open palms. These are the, at higher levels, and depending upon how you train, headbutts, finger wrenching, all this stuff that's illegal in judo, all the stuff that's illegal and frowned upon in jiu-jitsu, all the stuff that's illegal in these sport martial arts, eye work, eye jabs. These are the things that should be integrated, once again, into your pure self-defense program. And that's what we do. I've basically taken what works and made it better by other systems and platforms that work. That's what this is. And it would be my honor to share it with you. I look forward to seeing you on the mats. Boss. So the techniques that we share are used by the IDF. It would be irresponsible of me to teach something that hasn't been proven time and time again to work with enough variance of people on different types of people. So there's no weight classes when it comes to self-defense. So it's important that what we do works for the most amount of people against the most amount of people. We're dealing with multiple opponent, gun, stick, knife, and these are questions that need to be answered. I believe that MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu have the best platform to start from. So you really need to have that as your base as you branch out.